7/12 and 2 months into hurricane season officially anyway. So perfect time to get ready. What do you need to buy and what do you need in that storm kit? Joining us this morning with all those answers, Bill Shea, Deputy Commissioner of the Connecticut Division of Emergency Management. Welcome. Thanks for coming in.
I appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Yeah, well, a lot of people will benefit from this, I'm sure. So when it comes to like a first aid kit, what do we have or overall? And can we go through some of this?
Sure. The first thing I'd like to say is just that in emergency preparedness, it's not only the state and the municipalities, it's really our citizens being partners in this preparation for any type of storm comes in. So there's really three things we like to say. Get a kit, make a plan, and stay informed. And what I can do is just take you through some of the things that people should consider in putting in their basic kits.
Okay.
First thing is water. You should anticipate having 1 gallon of water per person per day, and you should plan out for about 3 days. Same thing with food, non-perishable food to last you 3 days. Battery-powered or hand crank radio. I know just a simple radio, which you can get local news and information, is real easy and very simple.
That helps on the stay informed end of things, for sure.
Absolutely. I was going to get into that in a little bit, but that's a big reason for having that. Cell phones, chargers. You need to figure out how you're going to keep your cell phone charged. This item I have here is actually a battery that provides additional power for an iPad. It will recharge an iPad twice, but also recharge a cell phone 7 times. So you have things to consider like that.
That'll buy you a lot of time, certainly.
Absolutely. They make solar power chargers now, which are very common. I know they're very popular with backpackers and scouts, and that's something that someone could also consider as a way to charge your cell phones. Flashlights and extra batteries. You never have enough flashlights or batteries. And also make sure you know where they are. Because I know when we lose power in my house, we're always trying to track down where they're at.
Because, yeah, when you need them most, it's the hardest to find them, right?
Absolutely. Basic first aid kit, something you can put together yourself, or you can go out and just purchase a very simple, inexpensive first aid kit, which has basic supplies you may need in an emergency.
And that's tough, too, because oftentimes you don't have running water, so you might need something that's a topical kind of antiseptic kind of thing.
Absolutely. Simple as Band-Aids, something to clean a small wound, that kind of thing. Whistle to signal for help, dust mask, duct tape, plastic. Towelettes, trash bags, pliers, a can opener for the food that you may have.
Oh, yeah.
Because that electric can opener doesn't work. Local maps. And the other thing in your house to consider is most houses have digital phones. Is have an old analog phone, because while you may not have power, the phone line may still be operational. So something to consider with that.
Interesting. Okay.
Prescription medications.
Just for a second, because you were talking about duct tape and things like that, where might that help?
Duct tape is one of the most universal things that are available to secure things in high winds. Also to make very easy repairs, duct tape works very, very well.
All right. And okay, so your prescriptions you were talking about too.
Absolutely. You should have your prescription medications, know where they're at, your eyeglasses, if you have small children, infant formula, diapers, pets, don't forget your pets. And consider food for your pets, water for your pets, and also a carrier if you have to move your pet, how you're going to move your pet. Some important documents you may want to consider. Also cash, because remember that ATMs are going to be
ATMs might be down.
Absolutely, they're going to be inoperative.
Yeah, for those of us who like credit cards and that kind of thing. What about your car? Are there some things there that we might not think about?
Well, just make sure your car is ready. Make sure it has gasoline in it. We know that if power is lost, that may be difficult to get gasoline. So you definitely want to make sure that your car is topped off.
Right. Okay. And it might be a good secondary way to charge that phone or something if you really need to. We're seeing video, by the way, as we talk about this. For those who were here last year. Okay. So you mentioned food too. You were talking about a gallon of water per person per day. How much food do you really think ahead on something like this?
You should think 3 days of food. Same thing with your water, same thing with your food.
Gotcha, okay. And as far as a family plan goes, if you have to evacuate, do you come up with a plan? Because I know you were talking about making a plan being one of the crucial things. Is that part of it, and how do you make a plan to meet up at some later point?
Well, the big part of your plan is that if you live in an area you may need to evacuate, don't wait until it's an hour or two before you need to evacuate to decide where you're going to go. Make sure you have the phone numbers of key relatives, key friends, places that you could go. Make sure that your family knows all the phone numbers. Then also teach your family members how to text, because when phone lines get clogged or when cell phones become a little bit difficult to communicate with, texting is a great way to share information, and it moves a lot quicker and doesn't tax the cell towers.
Not nearly as much, right?
Not at all.
And so all of these things, any of these things can save lives, actually, it seems.
Absolutely. It'll make all the difference. And the preparation and preparedness for a storm does save lives.
All right. I know we could cover so much more, but this alone is a good eye-opener for a lot of folks, especially as we head headlong into that season that in recent years has been so harrowing for folks in this region. Bill Shea, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate that.
Appreciate the opportunity to be with you today.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Now, unfortunately, right now, this is all conjecture. In other words, no big storms on the horizon, Sam, but you know, it's a long way to go before the end of hurricane season, right?